Hello, my name is Van Smith, managing partner at Smith Strong Law Firm in Richmond, Virginia, serving clients statewide in custody and visitation cases. And this is an increasingly common issue in divorce matters in Virginia. In 2021, the Virginia Court of Appeals heard and ruled on Jesse v. Jesse. And in it, ultimately, they gave the wife the remaining embryo so that if she wished at a future date, she could implant that embryo and have a child in the future. I've had cases of this type, and it's very interesting to think about, particularly for folks as they're marrying later in life, and oftentimes these embryos or fertilized embryos are the last chance for a now divorcing spouse to have a child. Add to that the legal layered complication of, after a divorce, having a child with a person that is no longer your spouse. And so now, after we're divorced, a spouse could have a child of your DNA after the relationship is no more. And so that's very, very interesting. And obviously, it's wrought with a lot of emotion. In the cases I've read, oftentimes it's either a couple that's now in their 40s, and this represents the last likely opportunity for a fertilized viable embryo. In other cases, it's where the wife has undergone cancer treatments, and these fertilized embryos, unfortunately, because of the cancer treatments, represent her last opportunity if she ever wants to have children. And so Virginia courts have oftentimes ruled in the favor of not disposing the fertilized embryos and rather allowing, oftentimes, but not always, the cases seem to suggest this sort of a fact pattern, allowing the wife, now going through the divorce court, to take possession of the fertilized embryos. And so the courts have noted that couples cannot rely on merely the agreement and documents given to them by the fertility clinic as the ultimate decider of who gets these eggs in the event of a divorce or embryos. And so the courts strongly emphasize that if you're going into a fertility clinic, it's very important to have qualified, capable legal counsel draft agreements that represent your contract over what will occur with the fertilized embryos in the event of divorce, and they've not yet been implanted. And so obviously this is a very specific case. There are a lot of balancing interests that courts take a lot of care in examining, and every case is different. But if you're watching this, please know, if you're considering fertility clinics and embryonic process in Virginia, very important to have an agreement between the parties so everyone's expectations are clear from the beginning. Otherwise, you're surrendering yourself and potentially future children to the mercies of the court and their disposition, which, if Jesse v. Jesse, a Court of Appeals case in 2021 in Virginia, is an indication, there seems to be currently an approach where the courts are favoring not disposing of the embryos. Very interesting, and we'll keep you updated as further updates in this area of the law need to be examined. Thank you very much.